So today we'll be having the introduction to PHP. What is PHP? PHP stands for PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. So it is actually a recursive acronym. So PHP is a server-side scripting language like ASP. And of course, because it is a server-side scripting language, PHP scripts are executed on the server. So not on the client, but on the server. PHP supports many databases like MySQL, Informix, Oracle, Sybase, and others. And PHP is an open source software, and PHP is free to download and use. That is why it's one of the most popular language, especially for server-side scripting language for web development. PHP runs on different platforms. So we can run it on Windows, Linux, Unix, etc. PHP is compatible with almost all servers used today, like Apache, IIS, and others. That's why in our course here, in our subject, we'll be using Apache. PHP is free to download from the official PHP resource. So with this www.php.net. PHP is easy to learn and runs efficiently on the server side. And these are some of the reasons why we can consider PHP as the language that we're going to use for web development, especially for server-side scripting. Then we have here the PHP syntax. A PHP scripting block always starts with the symbols lesser than and then question mark PHP and ends with question mark greater than sign. So that is the symbols will denote the start and the end of the PHP scripting block. So a PHP scripting block can be placed anywhere in the document. So we can place it before your HTML file, outside the HTML file, etc. So within the body, inside the head, so that is where you can place your PHP code. A PHP file normally contains HTML tags, just like an HTML file, although it is also possible that we don't have any HTML tags, and some PHP scripting code. Below we have an example of a simple PHP scripting or PHP script which sends the text hello world to the browser. So this is the code. This one. This is an example of an HTML file, and this one is our PHP block. So each code line in PHP must end with a semicolon. So you notice here we have a semicolon. That means that's the end of a statement. The semicolon is a separator and is used to distinguish one set of instructions from another. There are two basic statements to output text with PHP. So in this example, we use echo. So the two statements that we can use are echo and print, but most of the time we'll be using echo. In the example above, we have used the echo statement to output the text hello world. Now we can try that. So let's have our file. So I have here now an HTML file, and it is saved actually inside the folder. So just to check, inside the folder xampp, htdocs, webdev, and test. So that is where I placed my file. Okay, so I can just cancel this and then save. So how do we insert a PHP code here? So again, we start with lesser than question mark PHP, and then I can place here echo hello world. And then end with this. So that's an example of a PHP block, scripting block. So allow me to save. And then let's run the program. So I have here localhost, that's my server, slash, then a while ago I have shown you the path where I have saved my file. So it is actually inside xampp htdocs. So that's the default location where we're going to place our file. But I place it inside another folder which is called webdev. So I'm going to type the folder webdev, and then yet again another folder test, and then slash. So I have here now the file name. So demo1. What was the file name again? I forgot. Let's check. So I have here php demo1.php. So I'm going to place here php demo1.php. So once I press enter key, I have here now PHP demo, and here below PHP demo I have hello world. So this text is purely in HTML, but this one is the output of my PHP script. So let's continue with our PowerPoint. Excuse me. So comments in PHP. So in PHP we use the double slash to make a single line comment, or the slash asterisk and asterisk slash to make a large comment block. So in our code, in this example code, here we have here an example of a single line comment, and here we have an example of a block comment. So it begins here and ends here. So anything you place inside will be considered as a comment in PHP. I will not be demonstrating that anymore since we are still creating simple PHP programs, but it is actually highly recommended that you always place comments on your program so that your program is already documented. Now let's take a look at variables in PHP. Variables are used for storing values like text strings, numbers, or arrays. When a variable is declared, it can be used over and over again in your script. All variables in PHP start with a $sign symbol, and the correct way of declaring a variable in PHP is something like this. So we have $, then the variable name is equal to the value. So we'll be demonstrating this as we go on. Let's take a look at the naming rules for variables. And the naming rules is quite similar with other languages also. A variable name must start with a letter or an underscore. So most of the time we should use a letter rather than underscore. A variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters, so only alphabets and numbers and underscores. A variable name should not contain spaces. So take note of that. It should not contain spaces because sometimes this is a common mistake of others. If a variable name is more than one word, then it should be separated with an underscore. So just like in this example, or with capitalization, just like in this example. So my string, that's 2 words. So string here starts with an uppercase so that it becomes more readable rather than using purely lowercase text. Then string variable in PHP. String variables are used for values that contain characters. And after we create a string, we can manipulate it. A string can be used directly in a function or it can be used in a variable. And a string in PHP should be enclosed in double quotes, just like in this example, double quotes or single quote. So it should be enclosed in double quotes or single quote. So in this example here, we have a variable txt wherein its value, initial value is hello world. So echo txt here will print the contents of this variable, but it's actually hello world. So it will just display hello world. String concatenation. The concatenation operator, so there's only one string operator in PHP, and that's the concatenation operator. The concatenation operator is used to put two strings value together. So it is used to join strings. To concatenate two string variables together, use the concatenation operator. So in this example, I have here txt1 is equal to hello world, txt2 is equal to what a nice day, then echo txt1 joined with space. So this is also a string, and then I join with another string variable. So this will display hello world, what a nice day. So let's have an example of using a variable in our code. So let's place here another code. So we have here text1 is equal to hi, I am. So that's a string. Text2, I am sir, or let's say I'm going to Sir Eudz. So there's no space after this and before this. So if I just join them, of course there will be no space between those texts. So to display that, text1, and to have space between the two texts, I have to join is blank space, then join with text2. But here also, if I'm going to display this, since this one, I have here text and another text here, this text will be placed on the same line. So if I want, I can place a break. So a break in HTML is BR. So what will display this display? Hello world followed by a break, and then text1 contains hi I am space Sir Eudz. So let's try to display the output. So refresh. So here, hi I am Sir Eudz. So that's the output of the string variable, and that's how we declare variables also. So let's again continue with our presentation. So let's just have a quick look of the arithmetic operators. So these are arithmetic operators. We have plus, minus, asterisk for multiplication, slash for division, and the percent sign is for modulus, or this gives the remainder when we divide a number by another number. So just like in this case, 5 divided by 2 is actually equal to 2 remainder 1. That's why the result for this is actually 1, the remainder. 10 divided by 2 is 5 remainder 0. That's why the result is 0. The plus plus operator here excuse me, is an increment operator, assuming that x is equal to 5. So if we use x plus plus, then x becomes 6. Minus minus is the decrement operator. Assuming x is equal to 5, then x minus minus will change the value of x to 4. Assignment operators. So equal, this will just assign the value of y to x. This one, that is x plus equal to y is the same as x equals x plus y. So the same is true with the rest, but only the first operator. Okay, so just take a look at this. So these are assignment operators. And then we have the comparison operators. So equal, not equal. So we can use both symbols, but most of the time this one is used. And then we have the greater than symbol, lesser than symbol, greater than or equal, or the same as not lesser. And we have the lesser than or equal, or the same as not greater. But we'll be having more of these maybe on my next slide or next presentation or next video. Then we have here logical operators. We have the Boolean AND or the logical AND. So again, AND is true only when both are true. So if both of these expressions, so 1 and 2, joined by AND are true, then the result is true. Or is false only when both are false. So this one is false, and this one is also false, so the value is false. For other combination, for OR, then it should be true. Not is just the reverse. So if the result is true, then not true becomes false. In this case, in this example, x is equal to y, and we know that they are not equal, so that's false. So not false returns true. Okay, so we have a quick look at the operators, but let's now try to demonstrate maybe a simple arithmetic operation. So let's say we have here x is equal to 100. So I have declared the variable x and I have assigned the value 100. And let's have another variable is equal to 50. So I have here two variables. And let's add these two variables. So s is equal to $x, so or plus y. And then I want to display the result of that operation. So I can type echo. I want to display the value of x, and then the operator plus. So that's a string plus. Then I want to display the value of y. Equals and then the sum. But actually, if we use double quote, we can just place the variable directly. But if we use single quote, then we should do this. We should always concatenate. I will demonstrate that later. So let's try this. So we can do this. I think we should place a BR. So you notice it is here, it is on the same line. So I'm going to insert a BR. Maybe before that one. So echo BR. Okay, so 100 is x plus y is equal to s. Another way to do this, okay, I'll show another way, though basically the same. I will not erase the previous line. Echo $x plus $y is equal to $s. So we can do that also, but we should be using double quote. So the same. But what if instead of double quote, so I'll copy this and paste it here. So I should have the same result, but instead of double quote, I use single quote. What will happen? So as I've said a while ago, we can use double quote or single quote for strings, but there's some sort of a difference between double quote and single quote, especially when used with the echo statement. So once we refresh, so instead of displaying the value, it will display the names of the variables. So how do we do it? If we use single quote, then we should do it like the first example. So that single quote plus single quote dot, then we join single quote equal single quote, then join with s. So this time around, there should be no string here. So this time around, if we do this, so that means we have the variable x joined with this string, joined with the variable y, joined with equal, joined with the value of s. So if we refresh that, then that should be okay. So that's an example of a simple example of using variables and using operators and using the echo statement in PHP. And for in my next video, maybe we'll be using other operators and maybe the if statement and loops. So thank you for viewing this video.